Hello everybody, it's Chris and welcome back. I have my rain gear on, both my jacket and my rain pants on. That's not because it's raining, although it looks like it's not forecasted to, but it looks like it could rain at any time. I have my rain gear on because I'm doing some testing on how cold I can ride at decent speeds with my regular riding jacket, which is what I have underneath this rain gear, and my jeans, and I've got thermal layers underneath both my tops and bottoms, because I'm about to head for Florida on a trip and in a couple of weeks, and I don't know how the forecast is going to be, and I do not want to fly to Florida this year. I've been so excited about taking the Spyder down for the journey, a 3,000-mile epic journey, and quite frankly, I want to go no matter what the temperature, but I can't go if it's too cold, and that's why I'm doing this testing. But this video is about the Spyder and how it's treated me for the past year, because I am headed to Bucks Motorsports in Akron, New York, where I bought the Spyder on March 13th, 2024. This is a 23. It was a 23 leftover when I bought it. And I'm heading to Bucks for the annual New York State inspection. I'm also going to have them look at my battery because I got a couple of VSS faults, and I believe they relate to the battery. And because I'm heading for a 3,000-mile journey far from home, I'm not going to have a trickle charger with me. I want to make sure my battery gets a clean bill of health before I head out. And even though those VSS faults are not constant, over the past month I've gotten 2 of them. So literally, like, I'd start up in the morning, I'd get the VSS fault, and then I wouldn't see it again after multiple shutdowns and startups for a couple of weeks, and then it would pop up again. But it was, both times, it was the C1290, I think it is. I've got a video of it. In fact, I'll splice it in right here. But I believe it's C1290, so I'm going to let my dealer look at my battery. But in terms of how I feel about a year after ownership, let me just cut right to the chase. So if you don't want to watch the whole video, and this shouldn't be a very long video, but if you want to get out quickly, if you don't want to listen to my detailed prognosis of this, I'll just tell you, I loved it. And I put this thing through its paces. If you watched enough of my videos, you know I've ridden this thing in temperatures and in conditions that it was not meant to be ridden in. And it performed like a charm. It performed like a charm in some conditions that I do not recommend anyone ride in. I don't want to say they're dangerous conditions, but quite frankly, a lot of you said they were dangerous conditions. And yet the Spyder still just really held up. It started up every time. Sometimes there was a hesitation, a little cough, but it started up every time. And one of the things that I was worried about when I was researching the Spyder, after years and years of Japanese motorcycles with bulletproof engines and super reliability and engineering, and then I went to a KTM, my first non-Japanese bike, and quite frankly, I had the KTM, I don't know, a year and a half. KTM does not have the best reputation for reliability, and even though I had overall good luck with the KTM, there were issues with my KTM that were common throughout that model. And so where I'm going is, when I started doing research on the Spyder, my concern was, okay, this is not a Japanese bike with a renowned reliability reputation. I did a lot of research, and I saw the posts on the YouTube forums, I'm sorry, on the Can-Am Spyder forums, on YouTube channels. I saw the comments. Poor people buying these things brand new and then having to take them to the shop, and they were in the shop for 2 months. Now, I don't know if that was a COVID issue or whatever, but I can tell you emphatically that has not been my experience. This thing has been bulletproof in terms of reliability for me. Have there been issues like gremlins that appeared on the Spyder? Many of them. I've commented on all of them. I am not going to regurgitate all of my issues with the Spyder. I've commented on a couple of other videos that I believe that they're going to, just pure speculation, revise the RTs next year for the 26 models. And I've had a bunch of gremlins that popped up that I hope they'll improve for the 26 models. But none of those gremlins caused me to be stranded on the side of the road. None of those gremlins gave me concern about taking this 3,000 miles round trip from Niagara Falls, New York to Key West, Florida and back. Far from home, no trickle charger, 3-week journey, and I'm gonna do that. I hope I'm gonna do that if weather, you know, permits. None of the things that have happened with this thing have caused me concern about doing that. And believe me, if I had even one instance of this not starting up for me and I needed to get towed or trailered to the dealer, even one instance, I would never think about taking this on a long journey like that. I just wouldn't do it. But this thing has been bulletproof in terms of reliability. Now, that's the synopsis. When we get to Bucks, I'm going to let them kind of do their inspection. It shouldn't take long. I want them to do a diagnosis on the battery, or if they think there's something else that caused that VSS fault. After that happens on the way back from Bucks, I'll give you the down and dirty. Now, I will say, I got 2 of those VSS faults, that C1290, in the past month. I got 2 VSS faults early on. When I say early on, in the first few months of my Spyder tenure. But I didn't know the number, and here's why. When the VSS fault happens, if you don't know, there's a little orange kind of indicator that flashes up right here. And it just says VSS fault. There's no number. I wish there was a number on it, but it just says VSS fault. Well, I didn't know early on that there's a number associated with that you have to go dig into. And how you get the VSS fault number is you change the display using this, see, and then I scroll down to settings there, and then I go over there. Oh, of course it's telling me to slow down. I'm not going to slow down, but anyway, you have to go work your way into this thing for some reason. And Can-Am, if you're listening, that's another thing I'd like you to change. Why do I need to dig in there? You've got plenty of real estate on that flashing orange or amber, whatever color it is, thing that says VSS fault. Put the number there. Make it easy for us. But anyway, those 2 VSS faults, I did videos on those and I said I didn't get a number. Well, I probably did get a number. I just didn't know how to access it. Where I'm going is, I wonder if those VSS faults from months and months and months ago were also C1290. I just didn't know it, but because of that, maybe that's something. Oh, here we are. Here's Bucks Motorsports. Maybe that's just something that just pops up. If you've got a Spyder, if you know anything about this, if that's something that just happens, oh, awesome sleds. So last year was a terrible year for snowmobiles in Western New York. Well, all over the northern part of the country. But this year was an incredible year, a great year for snowmobiling. I'm talking weather-wise. And so hopefully they sold a bunch of snowmobiles this year. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to get the thing checked out, and then on the ride back, we'll talk a little more in detail about how I feel about the first year of ownership of my RT Limited. Okay, we're leaving Bucks Motorsports. Clean bill of health on the inspection. The VSS fault related to a low voltage something or other, and they checked my battery. The battery's not 100% perfect. They said it's at 75%, and I just hope that's good enough to get me on my 3,000 mile journey. But back to the reliability of the Spyder. So after a year of having this thing, putting it through its paces, going on long distance trips, a multitude of them, getting this thing on many highway rides, commuting with it in the city, riding in snowy and slushy conditions, I will just say that I just love this machine. And those of you that have reliability concerns, I wish I could tell you you have none. It's just, if you buy a Spyder or a Can-Am, you know, Riker, one of these products, you're gonna just love it. I don't feel that comfortable because there are enough people out there that have had some problems, but I can tell you right now, mine has been trouble-free other than a couple of minor gremlins, and from a reliability standpoint, it's just been a dream. I've pointed out many times, because I've done so much highway cruising, I am going to put this on cruise control right now. It's been a while since I've used cruise because of my winter riding, but this road's a little cambered here, but basically it is super smooth. I've done so many videos showing you hands off. It's better to do this on an interstate, but it just tracks incredibly smoothly. It just drives so comfortably. It is such a comfort to ride this thing for 460 miles, which has been my longest one-day ride to date, and I've done multiple of those rides, by the way. And to get to your destination and feel not a wick of fatigue whatsoever, none. Now I've got a backrest, an accessory backrest. It doesn't come with the backrest, but my guess is it'd be super comfortable even without that backrest, although I know that backrest helps. The seat, and this is an RT Limited, not a Sea to Sky, the seat is super plush and super comfortable. I've mentioned this before, but I've got an AirHawk cushion that I used on my KTM because my KTM seat was like a rock. It was a 2022 KTM 890 Adventure, and that seat was notoriously hard, and in 2023, KTM revamps their bikes like every couple of years. They put a new seat on it because I guess they got enough, I don't know, complaints about it. But I don't use the AirHawk cushion, even though I still have it. The AirHawk cushion, I should say. Even though I still have it, I've never used it on my Spyder because I just don't need to use it on my Spyder. From a touring standpoint, the luggage capacity on this thing is just incredible. Again, going back to my KTM, I had two giant Touratech side cases and a ginormous Touratech top case. It had a lot of luggage room, and this thing has way more than that. On that note, so my next video that you'll see in a week from now, which will be just a few days before I head out to Florida, I'm going to do a video on how I pack my Spyder for travel. One of my subscribers, Eddie Shepard, asked me to do so. This was long ago. He said, hey, can you do a video on how you pack the Spyder? And I did a video on how I pack my Spyder normally, what I keep on the Spyder. But I'm going to do a video on how I'm going to pack this for a 3,000 mile, 3-week jaunt. And by the way, that's without a trailer. And I don't mean not trailering the Spyder, I mean not towing a trailer behind the Spyder. I don't need to. Now, I'm traveling solo, and that makes it a lot easier because I can put a big giant duffel bag on my passenger seat, which even expands obviously the amount of luggage that the Spyder can carry. But it's just a dream machine when it comes to interstate touring. It's got its little hiccups. I'm not going to go into all of them because I've, commented on them numerously. Things like the seat shock, this whole electronic suite. I know they improved this for the 24 models and the 25 models, but I still don't think they've totally revised it. I pointed out that I got a survey from a firm that was working with BRP on, it focused a lot on the electronic suite, and the survey came out too late to really do anything about it for the 25 models. So my guess is the next time they do a revise of the RT, this will change even more dramatically than just, because from what I understand, the new display, all they did was they made it a larger TFT display, which is a huge improvement. But in terms of the use of space, I don't know that they've improved their engineering on that. But anyway, there are a lot of little things like that that are imperfect. But overall, I give this thing a thumbs up. If you said to me, look, I'm thinking of buying a Spyder, but I'm on the fence, I've got some concerns, I would say do it, knowing that there are a few out there that have problems, but so many people that I talk to have just, and so many people that comment on my channel said, look, I also have a Spyder, I have a Riker, and never experienced problems. So there are plenty of people out there that ride these things trouble-free, and I've got, let's look at my odometer. This is another thing that I don't like. So I'm gonna go scroll over to my odometer, and I'm gonna select that, so that there's so much white space on this, let alone the new ones, the larger TFT displays. Show me the odometer, the trip odometer, and the trip odometer B. Show it to me all on the screen. And then if I want details on MPG and all the rest of it and range, then I have to, you know, fiddle with this thing. But just, you've got the space, show it to me. So anyway, this thing had 1 mile on it when I bought it on March 13th, 2024. So I put on 13,230, 7 miles on this thing. Had it for a year. All sorts of crazy riding conditions. I give it a big thumbs up. So out of a scale of 1 to 10, I wouldn't give it a 10 because of those little gremlins. But I'd give it an 8, 8.5. I might give it a 9 because I just love it. I don't miss two-wheeling whatsoever. The idea of not having a car and using this as my sole conveyance, I'm still not sure. The jury's still out of whether that's going to be a permanent thing or not. But it's been a hell of an experiment. I've had a lot of fun with it. I hope you've had a lot of fun with it coming along with me on these journeys, long and short. But anyway, the Spyder, great machine. Can't say enough about it. I'm thrilled with my decision to buy it. Have zero regrets. And I hope this video has been helpful to you, whether you have a Spyder, whether you're considering getting a Spyder. And if it has, please hit that like button. If you don't subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. If you have any thoughts on anything I've said, or anything that someone who may be looking at purchasing a Spyder should know about it, maybe you've had not as good luck as I have. Maybe you can speculate on why some people have good luck and others don't. Is it the dealer? Is it COVID? You know, we're a few years out of COVID, but I know that disrupted a lot of things. Please comment. And until the next video, which again will be on packing for long distance trips, until that video, you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.